Hi, my dear Astro family. Are you as passionate about astrology as I am? Then I've got a great piece of news for you. All my courses and webinars are 40% off till the 26th of November due to Black Friday. And also, Sweti, myself, and Michael are offering 30% on their readings as well. So if you would like to check that out, go on my website, AstroViktor.com, and grab your seat. Let's get started with today's video. Probably a very interesting topic for all of you, and that's going to be about the US dollar. So now I did a little bit of a research and I found some bits and bobs very interesting, which I thought I wanted to share with you. Now, this is just an educational video. I don't wish to be, having debates about whether, the US dollar is strong or weak or. So please refrain yourself from those. But I kind of found some very interesting stuff in the US dollar chart. So I thought you guys might be interested to see. Now, the US dollar was introduced on the 6th of July, 1785. And according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index, the dollar had an average inflation rate of 2.59% per year between 2011 and today, which is producing a cumulative price increase of 32.49%. So basically, it means that the today's prices are 1.32 times higher than average prices since 2011. So basically, a dollar today only can buy approximately about 75% of what it could buy back then. Now, what we see in this chart is obviously we're going to have to see the core element of the chart. I don't know what time it got launched, so it's just going to be a chart where I'm not going to be looking at the ascendant, but I did look at the sun. And the sun is actually on 15 degree of Cancer. Now, what's very interesting to me is that 15 degree of Cancer is the exaltation degree of Jupiter, but also some people call it as a suicide degree. Now, whether it's true or not, I leave that with you. I just thought I would kind of mention that to you. However, I do want to speak a little bit about the power degrees, especially when we are talking about the middle part of the like the middle degree. So basically we're talking about 14 to 16 degree. It's basically, it kind of indicates that we are in the middle of the eclipse season, basically. Now, when it happens in a cardinal sign, just like in the US chart, because Cancer is a cardinal sign, it really indicates that the planet is fully engaged in the process of moving forward or getting things done. Usually it can actually indicate more or less of a deciding period. It's kind of like a battlefield because we are right in the middle where we have to be looking at the past as well as the future. Also, Frank Clifford, for instance, called it as a thrust of politics. So it's kind of like getting engaged in some turmoil, if you like it. Also, they used to say, or we astrologers say or believe, according to ancient textbooks, that there is always kind of like a warning sign if a full moon is actually taking place in the cardinal middle degrees, which can really kind of trigger some conflicts, which doesn't necessarily come up with an immediate solution. So, for instance, Frank Clifford mentioned that there was a lunar eclipse happening in the middle of Capricorn just before the 9/11. And also there was one on 15 degree of Aries on October 8th, 2014, which can, bring some issues around politicians and so forth. So the middle degree on a personal level always indicates that you might be fighting against something. It's a kind of like a fighting degree. And maybe the reason why it's called as a suicide degree is because sometimes you are fighting for something you should not be fighting. I'm not too sure if I agree with the suicide degree or not, but it's something worth exploring. Now, as I said, 15 degree of Sun, and that's exactly the exaltation degree of Jupiter. Now, when I look at Jupiter, actually it's on 13 degree of Aries, so they are actually squaring each other. So from a US point of view, surely this 15 degree is a critical point in the chart. And there was something called the Black Tuesday, which happened on 29th of October, 1929. And that's exactly where the Great Depression started. And basically the stock market crashed. Well, that was a point when Saturn was actually sitting on 14 degree of Libra. Now, what does Saturn represent? Death and debts, karmic payback, kind of like a paycheck. It says no to things. So obviously it was kind of creating a T-square between Jupiter and the Sun. So Saturn kind of is the planet of depression, right? So it kind of caused some time of turmoil. And of course, it was also opposing Jupiter as well. Jupiter wants to grow, and Saturn says, hold on a minute, we don't do that. And, at the end of the day, Saturn is the detrimental ruler of Aries, and it's in exaltation in the sign of Libra, so that Saturn was pretty strong there. Now, at that time, also was interesting to mention that Uranus was actually transiting the sign of Aries, which happened between 1929 to 1937. And last time when Uranus was um, in the sign of Aries was between 2011 and 2018. So Uranus can be bringing some shocking elements to the US dollar when, for instance, Uranus is there. Also, Pluto was squaring this point as well in 2015. So the US dollar has been, let's put it this way, a little bit challenged in the recent times. Now, why am I preparing this video? Is because the US dollar is going to be having its Jupiter return coming up. And that's going to be early next year, sometimes around February and March time. So therefore, Jupiter will be actually squaring again at some point. By the way, the Sun does have got a conjunction to Uranus. I kind of believe that the Sun on 15 degree is very much about, you know what, I want to be powerful because this is a power degree at the end of the day. And it's kind of like certainly showing that, the US dollar is a powerful paying tool. But now Jupiter is coming around, which is kind of gonna question the power behind the US dollar. So will be very interesting to see what's going to happen around that time. Also, the dispositor of the Sun, which is Moon, most likely was in the sign of Cancer as well. So the dispositor is extremely strong, which just indicates a tremendous amount of growth around the US dollar. Now, the fact that since 2011, it has been challenged significantly, it shows that something is going to change there. Another thing which I noticed in this chart is that Mars is actually retrograding around that Venus, which represents the banknotes. I don't know much about US dollar, if I really want to be honest, but it can actually indicate that the US dollar banknotes are going to be changing, for instance. So not only a T-square is getting activated here really a T-square is getting activated here with Jupiter hitting that 13, 15 degree of Aries early next year, but also we have got this opposition going on towards Neptune as well as the square to the Sun. Now, why the Sun is important in this chart is because it's the essence of the US dollar, right? It's kind of like representing the longevity of it. It's the strength of the US dollar, if you like it. And Jupiter squaring it, most likely, I think it's going to weaken. So, but the bottom line is that this could bring inflation-related matters. It could bring something around the currencies. It could bring the changes of the US dollar as well. It could talk about efforts being made, actually, to make the US dollar stronger. Another thing which is very striking here to me, that obviously Pluto and Saturn really triggered that sun in the recent years, and now Pluto is going to be coming on to Saturn. And that's only going to be happening in a couple of years' time when it reaches 3 degree of Aquarius. But it looks to me that the US dollar is going through a significant change. And this might have been seen since 2020, December 2021, January onwards, because we did have the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction happening also on 0 degree of Aquarius. So basically, this Saturn-Jupiter conjunction pretty much getting activated, something which started in 2020, 2021, most likely 2021, really. And it's gonna unfold somehow in 2023, next year. Now, if you know anything what was going on with the US dollar just very early 2021 or the very late of 2020, please leave it in the comment box below. I'm actually curious to know about that. So it was just a short video. And if you are interested in my Black Friday sales, go on my website, check out the courses, webinars, and also we are offering 30% on personal readings as well. Tsweti, Michael, and myself too. Have a blessed day, everyone. Bye-bye.